Okay, we'll just start in 10 seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, roll.
Добър ден! Вие сте с обедната емисия на Brookes TV. Екипът на телевизия Alma Mater се намира в Оксфорд. Днес ще ви запознаем с екипа от студенти, които работи в тяхната телевизия. До мен в студиото е Хари. Нека да разберем малко повече за него. Could you introduce yourself?
Well, I live in Oxford now, studying at Oxford Brookes. I'm originally from the southwest of England, which is kind of like countryside, lots of fields and everything. But yeah, now I'm just finished my second year here.
What do you do in the television?
I study multimedia production mainly. My role here really is station manager at Brookes TV, which is kind of like a student-run station, really kind of thing.
You're also involved into making a student show. Could you tell us about that?
What, Made in Cheney? Or yeah,
yes.
We created a show called Made in Cheney, which was based on a popular reality drama here called Made in Chelsea. But we adapted it in a way with Brookes students were involved, and we made a short 5-minute episode we put on YouTube.
What's your favorite thing about Brookes TV?
My favourite thing? There's a lot of choice. You can do pretty much anything you want, and it's very, like I said, it's very much student driven, so any student from any department can come, join in, make a show, make anything they want, you know. We've got a lot of things coming up next year. We've got quiz shows, things like that. So yeah, it should be good.
Tell us about Brookes TV. Is this the only student TV in Oxford?
Yeah, pretty much. As far as I'm aware, Oxford University don't have one, so we are the main source for student television within Oxford, yeah.
When was Brookes TV founded?
It was founded in 2006. The Brookes TV station and the TV news show was founded at the same time.
What does one day in Brookes TV look like?
Brookes TV-wise, we generally don't have a week-by-week process or a day-by-day process. What will happen is we'll have a student or someone come up to us and say, we want to make this, at which point we'll send away emails and correspondence asking people, are you interested in making this? And then we'll get people back say, oh yeah, sounds like a good idea.
What is Brookes TV Society?
The Brookes TV Society is the station where everyone comes and can make anything. So like I said, it could be anyone. If you're studying English, you could come be part of it, be a writer, and then you'll be part of Brookes TV station.
As a president, what do you do here?
I oversee everything pretty much. I organise. I have people who work with me, like head of production, head of advertising, things like that.
Това беше всичко от Brookes TV. Сега отиваме на разходка в Оксфорд. Останете с нас.
If I sing a song, will you sing along? If I sing a song, will you sing along? If I sing a song, will you sing along? Or should I just keep singing right here by myself?
My name is Jonathan Dempsey. I'm a senior lecturer in media technology here at Oxford Brookes University. I'm primarily responsible for teaching interactive cinema, digital film and virtual reality. I came to Oxford Brookes about 2 years ago after having previously taught at a different university here in England, and before that I worked in the film industry for about 20 years as a special effects technician and production designer on feature films. I came to Oxford Brookes because it allowed me to incorporate my specialist fields of engineering and science alongside the creativity. So it's film production but from a much more scientific background rather than just purely an arts background.
This is the first part of the Steadicam, which is the harness. It helps if you're quite short and stock to use a Steadicam. If you're quite tall like Harry is, it's a bit more of a problem. What we have to do is make sure it's like a corset and it's as tight as possible. So lift your hands up. What we're looking at being able to get is we don't want this to pull away from the body. If it pulls away from the body, then the camera's going to start to pitch forward.
My favourite thing about Brookes is that there is a really nice mix of students and staff here. You have industry professionals alongside academics, and you have students from a whole wide range of backgrounds, from private schools, from public schools, from state schools. The motorsports teams send their staff here for training. We have film professionals come here for training, so it's a good mixture. It's not like a normal university in that respect.
So that's section 2. This will take the whole weight of the camera itself. The whole kit itself is quite weighty, even though it's designed to take the weight off. When the camera starts to pull down, it's going to cause some pain for Harry. So that's part 2.
Oxford is a really, really good city to be a student in. There's so much to do, there's so much to see, and there's so many opportunities for you. You have 2 universities, round about a quarter of population during term time are either students or employed by the students. There's never an evening when there's not something different that you can do.
Part 3 is probably the most difficult part of the whole operation, is to get the camera balanced on this floating mount. You need to basically have it so that it will rotate without pitching. It's pitching very slightly at the moment. Rotate without pitching, and also tip back and forwards on the same axis without moving. But for the purposes of now, Harry's going to demonstrate how it uses it. The actual camera is quite heavy. This is just a fully automatic camera that we use for news production. The good thing about using Steadicam kits is it allows the students to have quite a lot of freedom of movement when it comes to any sorts of shots which are going to require moving from position to position within a scene. Quite often students have to get in and out of locations quite quickly. They often haven't got time when they're filming out and about outside university to take lights and tracks and dollies and set them up. They have to get into somewhere, film and get out very, very quickly. Using a Steadicam allows them to do that. They haven't got to worry about camera movement, and they get some quite creative shots out of it.
My name's Huma, and I'll be showing you around Oxford Brookes University. So the first place I'm going to take you is to Headington Hill campus. It's quite picturesque here. Obviously you know that Oxford Brookes University used to be part of Oxford University. It's quite a beautiful building actually.
Doesn't mean I belong. If I follow along, doesn't mean I belong. If I follow along, doesn't mean I belong. Or will I keep on feeling different from everybody else?
This building is actually used for more traditional subjects such as law, and a lot of seminars are also held here, and this hall is actually available to rent out as well for any special occasions. There's quite like a keen collection of art within this building as well, and I think they've taken special care to preserve its authenticity and Oxford style as well.
If I follow along, doesn't mean I belong. If I follow along, doesn't mean I belong. If I follow along, doesn't mean I belong.
I'm studying multimedia production, and that's a course that involves from programming to filming to audio editing as well. My favourite thing about Oxford City is probably how scenic and beautiful it can be. The colleges for Oxford University in town are so beautiful, and also Harry Potter was shot here, so what's not to like? I'm from London, but I've come to Oxford and I live in Oxford too, in the halls. So we are in one of the Richard Hamilton building's cutting rooms, and this is basically an editing suite. So if you'd just like to follow me.
По време на една от разходките ни в университета Брукс попаднахме на събитие от месеца на архитектурата. Нека да видим какво правят момчетата зад нас, защото малко по-късно те ще отидат в Лондон за Олимпиадата.
We're building a ping pong pavilion at the moment, which is for the London Festival of Architecture, and it's a collaborative effort between Oxford Brookes University and Montana State University in the United States.
And in which university do you study?
I'm studying at Oxford Brookes, yeah.
And you're studying what?
Architecture. I'm a facilitator of the project, but actually it was a competition where a group called Gang of Six and Dan Sweeting came first in the competition, yes.
Could you tell us something more about this competition?
Okay, so the competition was a month-long run competition whereby students from Oxford Brookes and Montana State University got together and submitted 6 competition entries, I think, and then a panel of 7 people came together and judged the competition.
And when is this going to be ready?
This will be ready in the next 2 days.
And what is going to happen here on this stage?
The ping pong table will be in the centre, and it's called the Round the World, and it sort of celebrates the Olympics as well. So we'll have 10 people running around and playing ping pong, hopefully, and you can join us if you like. This here is going to last a month, and then on the 28th is going to move to the Olympics.
My name is Aaron Brownstein. This is our unit space. We're in a unit called Research-Led Design, which was about using research as a way to design architecture. They're all quotes from, there's about 22 of us in the unit, so we've taken quotes. Yeah, it says, "The uncanny is the result of viewing many differing but equal essential conditions, which when combined by the brain create cognitive dissonance, a state where the mind is at once attracted to and repulsed by the object of its attention." It sounds quite deep, but when you've done it for a year, it makes sense. And I was looking at architecture and the brain and how we perceive space. So yeah, they're just snippets of bits of information from each person's project.
Could you tell us more about this event? What is exactly going on?
Yeah, it's an exhibition for the architecture department. Every year, at the end of the year, we do an exhibition just to show off our work. So we get people from the industry and magazines, things like that. I think a few people have got jobs out of it. It's very rare, I think. It's just a bit of fun at the end of the year.
Здравейте, казвам се Стиляна и съм на 22 години. Уча в Oxford School of Architecture, което е към Oxford Brookes University. Тук съм вече 3-та година. Когато влезахме в Европейския съюз 2007 година, таксите намаляха и имахме възможност да изтеглиме кредит. И просто се възползвахме и дойдохме тук в Великобритания, плаща за твоето обучение. И после, когато започнеш да работиш, ти го връщаш. Безлихвен се води, но всъщност има някаква минимална лихва, която е по инфлацията на държавата, която е много ниска. Нямаш кредит, ако работиш в рамките на 5 години и годишната ти заплата е 15 000 паунда, което не е много възможно. Втората година бях малко травмирана, че вече го нямах, този живот, да съм около толкова много различни интернационални хора постоянно и живях само с българи. Сега тази година пак живея в балканска къща с сърбин, румънка и още една българка. Но един мой ден изглежда, събуждам се сутринта, оправям се, идвам в студиото и целият ми ден минава в студиото. Много рядко имам възможност да отида до Лондон, примерно. Половината ми са ученици от училище, понеже завърших строителния техникум. Те отидоха да учат във ВИАС. Не всички архитектура, но тези специално, които учат архитектура, са много доволни. Може би защото нямат базата за сравнение и не можеш да кажеш, тук там е по-добре. Но като цяло тук е по-различно, понеже първата година, като пристигнах, започнахме с така наречения Life Project, което е някаква нова педагогика в образованието в Англия. Идеята беше Оксфордското посолство инвестира в нас 20 000 паунда и бяхме разделени на групи. Всяка група имаше различен проект. Примерно във втората ми година бях в дигитален юнит, всичко беше такива различни софтуери, програми. И обекта ни беше във Венеция и отидохме във Венеция. По-различно отношението, понеже тук хората те срещат веднъж и след това се обръщат за тебе с твоето име, не си някакъв номер. И понеже първата година ми беше много трудно и постоянно се свързвах с моя така наречен Academic Advisor. И постоянно писах имейли, не мога повече, предавам се, искам да спра, искам да се връщам в България. И тя много добре подходи към мен. Дойдох тук с моя английски, с български акцент. И те постоянно много ми се подиграха в началото на разни думи, примерно като lucky, казвах им lucky вместо lucky. Търся си работа, понеже ако искам да продължа архитектура, трябва да имам минимум 6 месеца стаж. Държа да съм в Европа, понеже да съм си близко до България. Тук постоянно се шегувам с англичаните, че съм тук да ги използвам и да взема всичко позитивно от тях и да си го занеса вкъщи. Малко безотговорно би било просто така да си тръгна и не знам, да не се върна. Малко съм си родолюбец. Повечето, които са се върнали, за съжаление, са се върнали просто защото не са успели да си намерят нищо подходящо тук и са се върнали просто по неволя.
If I sing a song, will you sing along? If I sing a song, will you sing along? If I sing a song, will you sing along? Or should I just keep singing right here by myself? Ba-da-ba-ba, 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 ba-da-ba-ba-da-da.
Yeah, so I'm Andy. I study at Brookes and I also work here. This is Magdalen College. This is St John's Quad, this is called. That's the oldest building in the college, that's where the old school used to be. So that's the president's lodgings, where the president of the college lives. That's the chapel building and then the cloisters there. I garden, so I look after the grounds here, I help to pay for my studies, help with the studies. So like basically doing what these guys are doing here, so keep it looking nice and probably the best gardens in Oxford, I would say. This is the hall, great hall, where the students eat their dinner, where the functions, the big meals. They do things called collections, where the students will pick up their exam papers from the lecturers and they will tutors and they will get their grades and their marks and pick up it's quite formal. Yeah, so what happens is they get called for their dinners, fellows, and they come from their rooms there, and they walk up and along the roof, and they enter the high table, so they'd have to walk through the students and stuff. You know, they get their own special way in, and then obviously they eat a dinner, and they go back for the glass of port and cigars and whatever they do. I'm local. I was born in Oxford, so I've always lived here. So yeah, I'm quite lucky really. Yeah, it's very strange with the students. Obviously in the summer. It's quieter, younger students, but then you get a lot of foreign tourists, language students in, but it's kind of always a change in town. You have the town and the gown, they call it, so you have the students with the gown and the town, which are like the locals, and they generally get on, but sometimes there's a few. There's been riots in the past, but this is hundreds of years ago. I don't know, you don't really notice it when you're younger, I don't think, no, the buildings. You do, obviously do when you're old, you start to appreciate it more, but because it's always there, sometimes you don't notice. I suppose people don't know, like, in Oxford you've got, I mean there is a lot of poor areas, like sort of East Oxford and West, and it's completely far removed from the colleges and stuff. You know, people are unemployed and they're struggling. You know, people don't really think of that, because people generally just think of the colleges and the town, but there's a lot, yeah, Oxford does have its problems. I mean the crime's not too bad, but there is crime and drugs and things. What a climb, eh?